About 5 years ago, I had the privilege of taking Sally Fitzgibbon, one of the world's best female surfers, for her first surf at a wave in Australia called Cape Fear. Cape Fear is one of Australia's most dangerous surf locations, hence the name. It's a powerful wave that comes out of deep water and breaks on a shallow reef just 20 meters from the cliff face. But what makes the wave so dangerous is what also creates this amazing barreling shape to the wave. And successfully riding one of these waves is one of the greatest experiences in surfing. Sally told me that she wanted to surf there and that she wanted my help to be able to do it. When people ask me to coach them to surf the biggest or most dangerous waves that they have ever surfed, I always start by saying no. Then I wait to see how they respond. If I think that they are going to try and surf the wave with or without my help, if I see that, then I say that I'll do it. I know I can make it safer for them to push their limits, but I don't want to be the one pushing them. That has to come from within. It's a psychological rule that your ability to deal with voluntary stress is much more powerful than stress that is forced upon you. I didn't really have to find this out with Sally. I knew straight away when she asked me that she would surf Cape Fear with or without me, because she is such a talented and driven surfer. She's one of the best female surfers of our generation, especially in big waves. And she's wise enough to understand the value of seeking out extra insights from someone who has surfed the location a whole bunch of times. There are a lot of factors that go into coaching people. 3 of the main ones that I focused on with Sally were empathy, direction, and feedback. To be empathetic, I have to know as much about the person that I'm working with as possible. What's their skill set? What's their experience level? Maybe what are some of their dominant personality traits that they may have? And once I learn about them, I try and put myself in their shoes. Imagine clearly how much fear or apprehension or nerves that they may be feeling about going out and surfing these waves. It's all about avoiding projecting my own skill set and experience and motivation onto them. Because if I do that, then I can get them in trouble. Direction is all about formulating a plan together. What does a person want to achieve and how are they going to go about doing it? Why do they want to succeed? And what risks are they willing to take? When clinical psychologists work with patients, they always try to allow for their patient to establish the plan themselves. And by doing so, the patient is more likely to stick with the plan. I use that same logic when I'm coaching. I allow the person to formulate their own plan. So with Sally, it was all about what waves do you think are the best ones to catch? Where do you think the best place to position yourself is going to be? Have you got a reference point on land that's going to help you line up that positioning point? What do you think it's going to feel like to ride one of these waves, and what adjustments might you need in order to successfully ride one of these waves? What are you going to do if you wipe out? And what are the best escape routes if that does happen? See, all these different questions allow Sally to formulate a plan before she goes out to surf. Then it's time to get out there and execute the plan. And this is where the feedback's important. In a situation like big wave surfing, when a person is nervous, it's all about creating immediate feedback. Sally's first wave of the session was one of the biggest of the day, and she positioned herself a little bit too far inside, which resulted in a wipeout. After that first wipeout, I could see that Sally was a little bit shook. I went in and asked her, what was the wipeout like? She said, it was so violent. I felt like I was down there forever. I asked her, are you injured? Is anything sore? She said, no. And then I said, so it wasn't too violent. You have no injuries. And you were actually down there for only about 6 or 7 seconds. And she was surprised. She was like, really? And I could see it readjust on the spot. That fear that she had overstated how bad the wipeout was, but then getting that clear feedback of what actually happened readjusted the way she viewed that wipeout. Then she could go into the next wave being that little bit more confident. And it made all the difference, because the next wave, one of the best waves of the day and one of the best barrels of Sally's life. So for this session with Sally, it was all about focusing on empathy, direction, and feedback. Coaching is one of the most rewarding things. When I get to see one of the best surfers in the world get one of the waves of her life, it's a great feeling. When you coach someone, you reinforce the skill set for yourself, and then you get to go out and practice that because you've just raised your own skill set.